afternoon, I'm Petroline. For those of you who do not know me, I'm a mental performance coach working with business individuals, executives, and sports individuals. And I want to talk today and continue our conversation around language patterns, or otherwise known as NLP Meta Models. Now, understanding what somebody's thinking based on the words that they're using is an extremely powerful tool that you can use. As individuals, we take in information from our surroundings, from the day we are born up until, well, every single day that we wake up, through our 5 senses. And it's bits and bits and bits and billions of information that we are bombarded with. And by nature, we do one of 3 things with the information, one of them, or maybe all of them, or a mix of them. Our minds distort information, so it's like it's massaging the information a little bit, making sure that it's something I want to keep. Can I change it to make it more, to accommodate it and make me feel better about it? The other thing you could do is delete information. All of us have experience of that. If you think about a memory that you have, you might only remember bits and pieces of that particular event or experience. And then the third thing our mind does is generalizing information. And it makes it just easier for our mind to categorize information into certain compartments so that we can remember it more easily. I think most of the children are being taught at school to sort of categorize information to make it easier to remember. Now, today's language pattern I want to talk about is complex equivalence. And all that means is you are equating one event to the other one. So the easiest way to remember that is when you put an equal sign in the middle of 2 events. So you're essentially saying event A equals event B. Because A has happened, B is true, or B has also happened. Now, one of the common ones out there is actually the one around weight loss. We hear a lot of people say overweight people are lazy people, right? Or you might hear in the workplace, because a particular individual is late most mornings or regularly late, they are lazy people, right? We hear that a lot of times. And another one example is, let's say, for example, Sarah. Sorry to all the Sarahs out there, but Sarah is angry, so Sarah is mad at me. Now, when people use this type of language pattern, then the sad part of it is they are starting to equate their identity to a particular state or behavior that they might have. So, in other words, if we take the overweight example, when you hear all the time people talking about overweight people, but if somebody's overweight, they are lazy, then overweight people start to believe that they are lazy. So they start to become that. And that's why this type of language pattern can be so negative for an individual that uses it. Now, as a person that are in conversations where you might hear this a lot, there are certain questions that you can ask these individuals or challenge their thinking with to help them to think further than just the statement that they've made. And it's used all the time, especially in sales conversations. I love these language patterns also because you can use them on your teenagers. You can use them in the workplace. The best place to use them actually are on social media, because you will get 2 types of individuals. You will get the individuals where you can actually, by asking these questions, you can spark some good conversation. But then you also get the individual who posted the remark, and when you start to ask these questions, they just completely disappear because they just cannot manage or self-regulate themselves in such a manner to think more than just the statement that they've made. Right. Now, so the questions you could ask in instances like this is, if we take the overweight example, is how does being overweight mean that you are lazy? That's one way to challenge this thought process of an individual. How does Sarah being angry make her not to like me, or causes her not to like me, or make me not likable? That might also be another way that people might think about it. Other questions you can also ask: since when does A mean B? Since when does being overweight mean that people are lazy? Since when does being late for work mean that people are lazy? Does it always have to mean this? This is one way also you can ask. Does it always mean that overweight people are lazy? And one of my favorite questions I just love to ask is, especially for my teenagers, to get them thinking, is what else could this mean? If Sarah is angry, what else could it mean? It could have mean that Sarah had a difficult day. It could have mean that Sarah was up the entire night with a baby, with a sick baby. What else could it mean? Probably one of these, the most powerful questions that you can ask in a conversation. Now, if you found this useful, don't forget to click on the subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. I will bring you more of these techniques and language patterns that you can use in conversations to really spark good quality conversation and engagement, which could have otherwise ended up potentially in conflict. I look forward to see you guys in the next video. Bye.